Call to order the Committee on the University of Virginia's College at Wise. Wise has been very active getting school started, just like everyone else. 3 weeks ago, we had convocation, which was well represented by university officials coming down, which was greatly appreciated. And then we had benefactors dinner and celebration that same week on Saturday, which again, we had several members of the university family come down from Charlottesville and witness what is probably our best event of the year. And so those went off flawlessly and went off very well. Today's, we have the report from Chancellor Henry, and we have a remarkable situation where we have record entering enrollment because of some very aggressive work by Vice Chancellor Baylor, and he will also offer some comments on that. But turn it over to Donna and for her report.
Thank you so much, Chairman Gilliam. I'm happy to be here and thankful as you are for the folks who've made their way to WISE. So it was great to have President Mahoney at our convocation ceremony and for the folks who came down to visit at benefactors. It was a big celebration. So with that, I will give you some updates on our Honor the Future campaign report, just so you can see where WISE landed. We set a $100 million goal and landed at $103.9 million. So that's very exciting. And you can see here the sort of the breakdown of where, what our goals were and where we attained those goals. So it's an exciting time, and it will really help WISE as we move forward in the future. And then you can see here the total impact, which includes the bicentennial scholarship matching funds for WISE, is $131 million. And I can remember sitting with Mark when we were setting our goal, and I was kind of pushing to say $125 million, and Mark was like, let's make it $100 million. But when you add the Honor the Future matches, we're over $125 million. So I think I win that argument, Mark. But anyway, so an exciting time, and the impact that this will have on the students at WISE is having and will continue to have for the future is pretty incredible. So again, you see here with the matches, so gifts and pledges for scholarships were $61 million. The bicentennial match received has been $22.6 million. Matches that are still coming in as the gifts and pledges come in is $4.8 million, for a total scholarship impact at the college of $89 million. So those are all endowed funds. So just thinking of those impacts on the students for future years. In my early years at WISE, I've now been at the college almost 13 years. From private funds and endowed funds, we had about $1 million that we would invest in scholarships. Next year, that will be $8 million. So if you think about that impact on our students, and I think that is giving Jeff some ammunition to help recruit and grow the enrollment at the college. So this is the impact of the scholarship, so that you can see our first scholarship for the college, bicentennial scholarship, hit in the very early year, and now we have close to 400 scholarships being awarded across the college. When we look at the impacts of the campaign, we brought in about $2 million for capital improvements, and I'm pretty amazed at some of the work that's been done. So some of our residence halls have been improved. The Lila Vickers Smith House, which is where I live with my family, we've been able to do some improvements there. Our Student Center and Ely Health and Wellness Center, we've actually been able to replace some of the equipment there. Our student athletes have their weight and training room in the Humphreys Thomas Field House, and we did some improvements there, which really impacted all of our student athletes. And then we replaced turf on the Richmond Beatty Field, And then we turfed both our softball and baseball fields, and the improvements that they have brought to the college, given our weather and climate, particularly for baseball and softball, have just really been impactful. So I must say it's just an exciting time, and all of these improvements have been wonderful. So this slide really looks at our endowment and fiscal year 2025 performance of the endowed funds, and I can't see quite that far away, so the numbers are pretty impressive for this year. So if you look at it, the beginning of 2025, we had $166 million in the endowed funds, and we closed the year with $189 million. So that's from growth, as you heard from Uvimco earlier today, the work that they're doing, but also from the impact of new gifts going into our endowed funds. And then this slide is an exciting slide because it shows the growth from fiscal year 19 to fiscal year 2025. So in 19, we have $96 million, and we closed with $189 million. When I came to WISE in 2013, there was $45 million in the endowment. So that has really been tremendous growth, and it has just been enhanced by the bicentennial matches. I think they did two things for us. One, I think they gave our folks in advancement the ability to ask for gifts that were larger than they might have asked for before because they could get the matching dollars. And then we've seen our donors step up really because of those matching funds. So, for us, the sky's the limit.
So Donna, I just want to say congratulations to you and your entire team. That is just phenomenal. So congrats.
Thank you. If you look around the Commonwealth, so there are some other schools that are much larger than us, and I'm happy to say that our endowments are larger than theirs. So I won't name names today, but you can Google some of those things. And we're punching above our weight at UVA WISE, and that's pretty exciting for us because of the impact that it has. So you've seen the 6-year plan sort of from the side of the finance and our request that's going forward to the Commonwealth. But I thought I'd just kind of talk through some of the pieces of the 6-year plan just to highlight for you what we're doing at WISE. And as you know, the SHEV has developed fact packs for each of the institutions across the Commonwealth. And we've used those to shore up our planning as we move ahead. But one of the things that you can see in our success is our enrollment growth, our increased retention, increased wage of our graduates, and decreased amount of debt for our students. So as you know, about 70% of our full-time enrolled students are Pell eligible. And so debt is a really important piece for us. So anytime we can decrease that debt is truly important for us. So we've seen Pell go up, but student loans go down over time. Looking at program alignment, we have been focused on and are keeping our foot on the pedal for enrollment growth. But also Gary Johnson, our provost, has been working to ensure that we're retaining the students once they come to the college. We are consistently in our freshman to sophomore retention in the low to mid 70th percentile. We would like to get that up to 80%, which for an institution like us and with our student population would be, it's aspirational, but it would be above all of our peers. So that is a goal and something that we're working on. So our quality enhancement plan, as you all know, that's part of the SAC COC program. So we are up for our reaffirmation of accreditation in April. The on-site team will come and visit the college. We have just submitted our report in which we attest that we have met all of the requirements of SAC COC, and so we're in the middle of that process. Our quality enhancement plan, which was to be submitted in February, apparently SACS is now reviewing QEP, and so that may go away. But ours has been developed, and we are fully focused on that first year experience and looking at that freshman class and all of the things when a freshman comes in so we can set them up for success. And all of these items here are a part of that. So the provost office has just hired a new executive director for student success and retention. She has hit the ground running and is really overseeing a lot of these initiatives that impact student success at the college. One thing that I'll pull out that is interesting, and if you have any questions about these things, Gary can provide additional information, but the Wise Journeys Toolkit, you all remember when we implemented the iPad program. So all students, faculty, and staff have iPads. The faculty have worked on this Wise Journeys Toolkit, so freshman students are introduced to a toolkit where they can begin inputting their academic information so that when they graduate, they actually have an electronic portfolio that documents the work that they've done, any research that they've done, any community service that they've done, so that they actually have a portfolio that they can take when they leave the college and use to help them to get into the workforce or graduate school or wherever they plan to head next. The other exciting thing for me, which may not be so exciting to others, but is the credit hour task force that our provost has put together. So this is a group of faculty and department chairs who are looking at all of our programs, the credit hours that are required, to make sure that those requirements are essential. We have a few degree programs where we have more than 120 hours, and the questions that we'll be asking is, are those additional credit hours needed, or are they just delaying our students actually completing their degrees and moving on? So these are all things that we're doing to really help shore up the college. Our enrollment, I'm going to leave a lot of this for Jeff because he will be walking you through some of the things that he is doing in enrollment and management and financial aid. But these are some of the levers that we're really pulling to ensure our enrollment is growing. And this is one of my favorite slides, but this is our fall enrollment number. So as you can see, for 2024 to 2025, in this slide, the red bar is our degree-seeking number. So we were at 1160. This was on the first day of classes, August 20th, comparing last year first day of classes, and this year we're at 1287. So degree-seeking number, so that's our students who are enrolled and planning to stay for 4 years and graduate. The blue bar on the first day of classes was lagging a little bit from last year. The blue bar is our non-degree seeking. A lot of that is online programming for teachers across the Commonwealth who are enrolling in classes to either to get their certification or recertification credits in education. I'm happy to say that those enrollments lag a little bit. And as of today, that number is over 900. So we're on par with where we were last year. So that's no longer lagging. The gray bar is our year in WISE students. So those are the students who are waitlisted at UVA, spend a year in WISE, and then can come on to UVA. That number is 66 for this year. And last year, that number, I think, landed about 102 once we got into the semester. So, those numbers will ebb and flow a little bit. We're happy with that number, and it's a good group of students. And then looking at graduate programs, so new students coming into, or full-time in our master's degree program in education, we're at 26 this year. We were at 24 last year. But our total enrollment is over 50 in the graduate program because we have some students who are both undergraduates and graduates, and we count them in the undergraduate total, but they are taking graduate classes and are planning to complete the master's at the college. And this really shows the trajectory and where I'm most happy to see our enrollment growth, and that's in degree-seeking students. So you can see that over the past from fall of 22 to fall of 25, that enrollment has really grown. And I'm happy to say that this was on the first day of classes, and I got the enrollment numbers for Wednesday of this week on the 9th. And that number went from 1287 to 1364. So we have continued to enroll students, even as we've done some dropping of students for non-payment. We've been able to get them back and add additional students. So right now we're looking at a 5% increase of degree-seeking students over last year. And then this is our new student number, which is always interesting to look at the mix of new students who are coming to the college. So the 353 is first-time freshmen, and that number last year was 280. So again, bringing in students who plan to stay at WISE for 4 years and complete their degree and increasing those numbers is important to us. The purple number, the 66, that's the Year in WISE program. The 168 is a transfer number, and that is up. Last year, we were just over 100 students transferring into the college. So it's good to see our transfer numbers to go up. And that is largely due to, I believe, and we're looking at that data, we've implemented some 2+2 programs. So we're actually attracting working adults from the community to come to the college and complete their degrees. We also have some great relationships with our community colleges where we're enhancing those numbers. The 214 number is actually up to 366 today. And that, again, is non-degree seeking students. Many of those are the students, the teachers who are taking the CTE classes. And then the blue bar is our new graduate student number. Looking at financial effectiveness and sustainability, these are some of the drivers of our success that we believe. So we eliminated admissions fees, really largely because those were barriers to access to the college, and we were waiving those fees so often for our students, it made sense just to eliminate that fee. For the past 2 years, last year and this year, we've held tuition flat, and we believe that has helped with access for students, and our enrollment growth and support from the Commonwealth has allowed us to do that. Within Reach, it has been expanded. That's our program where students who come from families who make $80,000 or less are guaranteed that we will cover their full tuition and fees. And room and board on campus is below industry and inflation rates. And I'll talk about housing in a little bit, but we are now over capacity in housing, and it's a desirable thing for students to live on campus. The liberal arts core was revised to decrease the requirements, but to enhance the program and knowledge of our students. We talked about the Honor the Future campaign and all of those exciting things. And I can't negate the shared systems with UVA and how that has helped us to save costs throughout the year. So moving on to housing. So this summer, our housing program was very busy. We actually housed 80 summer students in summer 2 on campus. Many were student athletes who were able to practice with the team and get ready for the fall. We replaced mattresses and we replaced some furniture on campus, which had been there for a very long time. That middle slide is a picture of all the old furniture going away and the new furniture being included. And I must say, we were able to do all of this just because our housing has been up to capacity, and that has given us the reserves so that we can do some of these improvements. We had to replace external stairs on 2 of our housing units because they were getting hazardous. All of that work was done this summer, and that was close to $1 million project that we were able to fund with our reserves. So we have new windows in 2 of our residence halls, microwave carts, flat screen, TV, wall mounts. So the students came back and were excited to see the improvements. Additionally, we added housing this year in a partnership with a private firm who built townhouses. They are modular in fashion, so they were built, fabricated, and then kind of brought in. We added 32 new beds under our original lease, But there were some existing townhouses adjacent to those, and the firm actually purchased those and had a couple of empty ones. So we leased an additional 10 beds that way. So we added 42 beds this fall in housing, and all of them are filled. So the picture at the top right is students were supposed to move in on a Sunday, but we didn't have CO because we didn't have electrical power. So that was on a Wednesday afternoon. The electrical truck came in and got power. So all of the students who were planning to move in were right there. We actually got the certificate of occupancy within an hour of that. And then all of those students moved into their new places, and they were thrilled. Our Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, who oversees housing, said that the electric company said they hadn't got as many big cheers that day as they had after they restored power after some of the flooding that happened in North Carolina.
So Donna, can you just refresh me, the Clinch Valley Townhouse is 5-year?
It's a 5-year lease.
Is there options to renew post that?
Yes.
Okay. And is there ability to expand that, or are you thinking something different?
There is ability to expand that if we'd like to. There is some additional property. They will have to add some additional infrastructure to make that work, but they do have land there and can do that. So that's really what we're assessing this year, is how are we going to continue to expand our housing?
I think congrats to you on this and being innovative in a P3, but also, yeah, absolutely, if you need anything from our team to explore sort of expansion there, because it seems like a real win-win.
Yep. So these are our housing numbers. So our official capacity is 604 beds. The table on the right shows how we've expanded that capacity by 80 beds. So that we could really accommodate all of our students. And as you can see, our housing numbers over the past 5 years, we have really grown in numbers in getting students into beds. And as I said, there are students who live locally who would like to live on campus, but are living at home because we just really don't have capacity. So what we're doing this year is really studying housing and deciding whether we need to build some new housing on campus. I think we probably do, but we have some capacity at the townhouses, and then we have McCrary Hall, which was our very first housing unit, so it's an older res hall. It does not have AC, which is a downside, but students love it. We actually gave half of that building to the football program when we were not filling housing. And so we're planning to move football out and convert those beds back. So that will sort of get us to where we need to go. And we're currently working with JJ's team because some of your folks have left some athletic modular units. And so UVA-wise, we may ship them down the highway to UVA-wise and move our football program into those for a few years as we manage our growth. So that's pretty exciting.
Question?
Yes.
Excuse me, are your students allowed coming in to pick their own roommates?
Yes. Yes, so there's a process that we've set up. It's all electronic, so students can go in, request housing, request roommates, request which housing unit they'd like to get, and it's first come, first serve. Yep. And I must say, our student life group has really done some great programming last year and this year for our students. So life on campus is very vibrant and exciting, and it's fun to see the students enjoying time on campus. And that is my presentation. Any other questions? Yes.
Chancellor Henry and Provost Johnson, thank you for including Mr. Perryman and myself to the convocation, along with President Mahoney and Provost Gertler. Among the learnings there was the interstate nature of the enterprise with Kentucky, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee. It was good to meet those individuals, alumni, and the others. Also, that the webpage of UVA-Wise has clear opportunities for international students to to mix with the Northern Virginia students and the regional students. It seems Switzerland of North America, so there's a lot of opportunity for growth there. We noticed the corporate support from the T-Mobile and others, and in the healthcare opportunities for the students. And we saw music majors and music faculty participate in the several events. Very positive, the trumpet solos and the pianist and the rest. And lastly, we feel there's a big opportunity for a philosophy that comes from the place there, the history of Charlottesville and the Commonwealth with industry and the rest, and of course the beauty of the setting there. So we're looking for a bigger philosophy, thanks to UVA Wise. Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. And I appreciate your visit and taking the time to get to know folks. I think Jeff is going to talk a little bit about where our enrollment growth is coming from, but as many of you know, we've expanded into the Appalachian region, and so those are the states where we're seeing that growth at Kentucky, West Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina. So it's been very exciting for us to be able to grow in that way and to serve students from Appalachia who would not be served if we weren't there. So.
On a great job, and especially in the fundraising, it's incredible. Really, really
Thank you.
great job.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Could I just follow up on Mr. Lambert's comments? So it was just an amazing visit that we had there, and that was my first time there. It will not be my last. And one thing that I sensed at Convocation, I walked over to Convocation, which was a long walk from wherever we started, with a group of faculty leaders and academic leadership. And there is such a sense of commitment to that place from among your faculty leaders. Convocation included some new faculty, new people joining the faculty. They were clearly very excited. And then after Convocation, there was an activities fair, which was amazing to see all of the activities for students. So I commend you and Provost Johnson, also you, for your work there. It is a jewel. It is a special, special place.
My reaction was exactly the same as Bree's. What a wonderful event, and what a wonderful community you have at Wise.
Thank you so much. Okay, Jeff?
Okay.
We can get the other slide deck up.
I'll go ahead and introduce myself. First of all, Mr. Chairman, the board members, Chancellor, thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Jeff Baylor. I'm the Vice Chancellor for Enrollment Management, UVA Wise, and I'm starting my 4th year this year. And I remember when I arrived in 2020, a lot of the work that needed to be done to set the stage for enrollment growth had been done. So I commend all of you for supporting the Chancellor and some of the initiatives that led to where we are today. What I'm going to talk about today is how we got to the enrollment numbers. So these numbers will not match the numbers that the Chancellor spoke about. This is part of the recruitment, we call it the recruitment funnel. This is how we get to those enrollment numbers. Immediately upon my arrival, we made the decision to implement new technology, and that was a key for what we needed to do moving forward. We averaged about 1,500 applications a year prior to 2020, and now we surpassed 6,400 applications in 2024, and we brought it back down to about 5,200 applications this year. Why did we do that? When you increase applications by 400%, you have to find a way to process those applications quickly. And it did not make sense to go out and hire a bunch of people because we didn't know if we could maintain the application. We didn't know if the quality of the application pool would be there either. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some AI initiatives that we're using to help us with some of the top end of the funnel, is what we call it. To filter through some of these applications. The good news is our admitted number continued to grow. So even though we reduced our total applications coming in, we were able to continue to increase the number of students we admitted. So that's good in terms of conversion. And that's what I watch, is I watch prospect to application to admit to confirmed, to key up those students for enrollment. And then, of course, our confirmed numbers are in line. We've continuously seen those confirmed numbers increase over the years. And I want to say this, I want to thank the University of Virginia and David Martell, because the money that's being invested in our marketing department is critical for being able to do this. And I want to give a shout out to our marketing staff at UVA Wise. They're great partners to work with. If you know anything about enrollment management, sometimes your biggest challenge sometimes is the collaboration with your marketing office and enrollment management. And we have a wonderful relationship. We couldn't achieve what we have without them. So I want to make sure you all know that this is not one department's success. This is many people investing in what we need to do to be successful. So this is our confirms. Confirms is the equivalent of a paid deposit in most institutions. We've removed that deposit, so we manage confirms. And as you can see, our freshman confirms were up this year. Transfer were up by 40%, and a total increase about 14%. So this is what we want to see from year to year, and then we will be working with our provost and folks on campus to improve our yield. We are on the national average as far as yield, but we'd like to do better. With more applications, that yield has come down slightly, but we'd like to see it improve. And I just wanted to show a little bit about this class coming in. We've been able to maintain quality of our incoming class in terms of GPA. And as you can see, we've increased increased confirms, within Virginia. Also, we're seeing a nice trend out of state. To maintain 70 plus students is a good thing for us. We'd like to see that increase, however. And then, of course, our ARC region has been a successful region for us, and the special tuition rate approved by the Commonwealth was critical for that. And by the way, the investment from the Commonwealth also was critical in terms of getting our marketing out and having the tools we need to have a successful recruitment strategy. And just to show you a little bit about how our yield is by high school, these are our top high schools. Of course, they're regional. And as you can see, we're above 60% in most cases, and that's really good for our local high schools. So we're very excited about our ability to engage our high schools within our region, because that is our mission, to engage our students within our region first.
A quick question for you. Do you have a sort of an upper limit? Like, this is phenomenal news, and you all should be applauded. But do you sort of have like at 2,500, is there sort of a ceiling? And again, I think this goes to some of the housing issues you raised, Donna, but I'm just curious, or do you have kind of the world is your oyster, and the next 5 years you'll be blank?
I would like to see in the next 5 years for us to get to about 3,000. I think we can do that if we can continue with the construction of the buildings that we're asking for now, and we'd be able to house the faculty that we need. We have to get the housing to follow. But I think if we can continue this, 5% growth over the next several years, if we can get to 3,000 by retaining students better, getting them to graduate on time, I think that could be within reach.
That's awesome, thank you.
And I'd like to share a little bit about the financial side of how we recruit students. This is a great number. This is almost, I've never been able to achieve this type of success in terms of federal funding. We've increased our Pell Grant alone by, millions of dollars really since 2020. And we have more students receiving Pell. So the initiatives that we have in place to attract more Pell students is working. And we're very excited about the fact that we've been able to increase the amount of federal funding that's coming into the institution. On another note, the Chancellor spoke about our ability to reduce the student loan burden on our students, and we've been successful doing that as well. So this year, we've checked the box on increasing federal funding to the institution and decreasing student loans on the backs of our students. And we're very excited about that, because a school like us in Southwest Virginia, it's very important that we build relationships that can last a lifetime. And this is how you do it, by making sure that we're being transparent with our students and they understand why we do what we do.
And the interesting piece about that to me, when you look at that, is our percentage of students who take loans. It's about a third of our degree-seeking students. So it really isn't a lot of students. We're able to help most of our students to go to school without taking loans. And then the amount of debt that they bring in is well below the national average. I think the national average is about $45,000 over 4 years. So.
And the last slide here, these are our priorities for this coming year. We have what I call the big Mo in our favor, momentum. And so we want to continue to create, as the students would say, the FOMO out there, the fear of missing out, so we can be at the head of the game with our students. And we're just really excited about the position we're in right now. We have a lot of things working in our favor. And again, you all have done really great work setting the stage for this to be possible. And I'm excited about what we can potentially do in the next few years as we continue to improve our staff training, improve our people. And as you can see, a big part of the strategies coming forward is to continue the increases in enrollment, both freshman and transfer. We are going to continue to work on our scholarship model. As the Chancellor said, when you have $8 million compared to $1 million a few years back, we have to make sure we're using these funds appropriately and leveraging the best we can to help as many students as we can. And then, training the admission staff and the financial aid staff continuously through this next year with new technologies. It's going to be a big part of our initiatives. And I said I'd talk a little bit about AI. Last year, we did initiate an AI recruiter that helped us with the increase in applications. And that was really nice because the AI recruiter would have conversations on the phone with our prospective students, our applicants. And these are students who were not likely to enroll when we run them through our evaluation, and we did pick up several of those students this past year. And we were testing the AI last year, so we were very careful. And by the way, this AI introduces itself as an AI. We believe it's important to be transparent with what we're doing and how we're doing it. So we're looking forward to what the AI possibly can do this year. And its name is TJ. It stands for Thomas Jefferson. Is the initials. We wanted something that was could be relatable to most people. And so I'm very excited about what's ahead for us. And again, thank you all for having me here today, and thank you, Chancellor, for the opportunity. So thank you very much. Any questions?
Yeah, Jeff, of the applicants that you get, how many are you confident and prepared to do college work?
Most, believe it or not. We draw a pretty good applicant pool. In fact, I was looking the other day, our application to open for next year already. It's the earliest we've had it open. And our applicant GPA is very similar to our admitted GPA and is very similar to our enrolled GPA. I'll say this, our enrolled GPA is higher than our applicant GPA and our admitted GPA. That's even better. Okay, so we are actually yielding the higher performing students within our pool.
Thank you.
That was a concern, by the way, when you increased from 1,500 applications to 5,000.
That's why I drove the question.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, first of all, thank you so much. I love the idea of using AI to reach a broader number of students in the Commonwealth. I think it's clever. I love the name. But I also think what the work you're doing to address the needs of the students in the Commonwealth and proactively trying to find those students and bring resources to them is truly commendable. And the increase in scholarships is fantastic. Your work on the campaign is nothing short of astounding. And the work you're doing on behalf of all of the students in the Commonwealth that might not otherwise have had the opportunity and to see what you can provide is truly remarkable. So thank you all so much for your efforts.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Baylor. I could totally echo your sentiments in all my discussions with students at the college. There's a sentiment that something big is unfolding in the next few years. So thank you, Chancellor Harry. Looking forward to seeing you.
And thank you so much, Mr. Perryman. And just so all of you are aware, our Student Government Association has actually been partnering with the Student Council here at UVA, and they have signed an agreement that they will continue to work together to ensure that students are connected on grounds and at the university. And so I've really appreciated that good work, and Gregory has been right in the middle of all of that, really wanting to ensure those relationships. So this fall, Gregory and...
It's a delegation from the Student Council.
A delegation from the Student Council will be coming to WISE, and they will actually present to the College Board at our November board meeting. And then in the spring, they have invited our student government president and our student member of the board to come to grounds and they will spend time here. So I love to see those relationships developing and to see how that work will go forward. But I appreciate your support to make those things happen.
Anyone else have any questions? But one of the great things about WISE is the problems they have right now are happy problems. They're trying to find aligned housing to meet with demand, adjusting faculty and staff for increasing numbers, and making sure we have adequate facilities for the increasing numbers of people coming in. As a comparison, the colleges locally, other schools locally have exactly the opposite problems. They have decreasing numbers. They're looking at layoffs of personnel and looking at higher costs because of a smaller student base. So the problems we have are wonderful to have, and the administration, Donna, led by Donna, is doing a remarkable job in taking care of that. Does anyone else have any comments? If not, then the Committee on WISE is adjourned.